Good day, everyone. In this video, we are going to be focusing on mandatory profiles. And what mandatory profiles are, it is basically a pre-configured roaming profile that is used by administrators to specify settings for users within a domain. So, example, if you're a user belonging to domain and you log on to a desktop and you wish to personalize your desktop, change the background, add some folders on the desktop, and when you log off and when you log back on, you realize that the settings that you have put in place, they are not there anymore. It will revert back to the default settings that the administrators have applied to it because of this mandatory profile. And today I'm going to show you how to create one. So first I need to create a profiles folder. So I'll go into computer, local disk. I'm going to create a folder called profiles. And I'm going to make this folder shareables. Go into properties, on sharing, advanced sharing. I'm going to share this folder. I'll go into permissions. I'm going to remove everyone. I'm going to add authenticated users. I'm going to give them reading permission, and I'm also going to add domain admins, and I'm going to give them full control. You can see here the network part. I would advise you to copy this part because you'll be using it later on. So just highlight it, Control C, and it will be saved for later on. So close that. Now I will need to create a user. So minimize this. I'm going into administrative tools, then go on to Active Directory, users and computers. And I'm going to create a user, which will be the mandatory user. So once you have highlighted users, right click, go to new, look for user, and I'm going to give it the name mandatory. In fact, I will name it Mr. Mandatory. I'll give him the logon name of mandatory. Click next, apply a password. I'm going to check that and choose password never expires. And I'm going to click next and finish. Alright, so you see that the user has been created here. I'm going to make it a member of the administrators group. So right click, go to properties, and in here you're going to look for member of. Going to select add and type in add administrator. Alright, now see it is a member of administrators. Click apply and OK. Close off this and close off this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create the folder for mandatory. So I'm going to have to log off my server and log on as mandatory. specify the domain name slash the user's login. Alright, so I've logged in using the mandatory logon name. Now I'm going to log back out because the profile has already been created. Going back into the admin's account. If I go into computer on the local disk and I select users, you should see the folder mandatory here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy the mandatory folder into profiles. I'm going to rename it as .v2. I'm going to go on organize, folder and search options. To view tab, I'm going to check show hidden files and folders, hide extensions for known file types, and hide protected operating system files. The one sign will appear and you click yes. When that is done, you click apply, then OK. If you open up the folder, you should see all of these here, and ensure that you see nt-user.data. That is the most important one. So once you ensure that you are seeing of these here, you're going to open up regedit, where we are going to load nt-user dot onto the Hive. So in run, I'm going to type regedit, and in here I'm going to go on HKey local machine, click on file to load Hive, and I'm going to browse for the nt-user.dat file. I'm going to ask you to enter a key name. I'm simply going to name it mandatory. Click OK. If I expand, you should see the name here. Right click, go to permissions, and you're going to remove all of these. Go to add, and I'm going to add authenticated users. I'm going to give them full control. Click apply. OK. I'm going to unload Hive. Done. Exit registry editor. Come back to end-user.dat. You're going to rename it. You're going to rename the extension to man. Click yes, and you're going to delete these files here. These files here except entities.ini and man. Delete those. You're going to come here in app data. You're going to delete local and local low. Now I'm going to go back into the monitory.v2, which is in the profiles folder. I'm going to go to properties, security, going to go on edit, we'll go to advanced, click on edit, want to uncheck include inheritable permissions from this object's parent. Done. That is done. Click apply. OK. Go to edit. I'm going to take off creator owner. Ensure that it is not there anymore. Alright, now I'm going to create some policies. So close off this. Going into group policy management. Going to expand group policy objects. I'm going to create a new GPO, name it mandatory. So you see it come up here. To edit. To expand policies, go to administrative template. So inside here, I'm going to configure some settings that will go along with our mandatory profile. So I'm going to expand the system. I'm going to look for user profiles, and these are some of the settings here. You can see the state they are not configured, and the ones I'm looking for are delete cached copies of roaming profiles, to enable that. Go to set roaming profile path for all users logging onto this computer. With that, I'm going to paste the path. If you have to get the path, you have to go into your local disk and the shared profiles folder. You click properties and go to sharing. Just copy the network path. After I've pasted the network path, I'm going to type in mandatory. Click apply and OK. And next I'm going to first I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to expand the Windows components. I'm going to look for terminal services. What I'm looking for is terminal server and profiles. Go to enable use mandatory profiles on terminal server. So enable that, apply, next setting, set path for roaming user profile, enable, to paste the path, network path, I'm going to enter mandatory, apply, okay, and now I'm finished inside here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Active Directory users and computers for the mandatory user that I created, to properties, and I'm going to apply a profile path for it. So I paste the path. I'm going to test this out, see if it will work. If I click apply, so you see the name mandatory does appear. I'm going to click OK, and that should be it for now. So now I'm going to test the profile to see if it is working. So I'm going to log off, and I'm going to log onto the mandatory user account, and I'm going to personalize the desktop. I'm going to log back out and log back in and see what happens. So I've logged onto the mandatory user login. Now going to personalize the desktop a bit. I'm gonna choose a desktop background. Let's see, I have no. I'm going to choose a background. I have no. This have no picture, so I have to do the colors. Let's choose this color, and going to add some folders to a compressed folder. Going to put an image. Anything else? I'm going to drag Internet Explorer outside here. Alright, so now I'm going to log off. And I'm going to log back in and see what happens. So as you can see, I've logged back into the mandatory profile, and so you notice the the solid color background I had before, it is gone, and the shortcuts I had at the side here, they are all gone. As you can see, it has reverted back to its default settings. So this is in fact how a mandatory profile works. So I would like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.